Meet Wang Duoyu, a 37-year-old benchwarmer goalkeeper for a bottom-tier, pathetic football club. He's aging, lacks any real talent, has achieved absolutely nothing in life, and is dirt poor. One day, a wealthy owner of a rival football team approaches Duoyu with a massive stack of cash. But he isn't hiring Duoyu for his skills, he's offering a bribe for Duoyu to throw the upcoming match. Match fixing. However, Duoyu is a man of fierce integrity and firmly rejects the corrupt offer. Fun fact: Duoyu once got banned from playing for 2 years after biting an opponent during a match. And during that hiatus, he even tried to disguise himself to play for a women's team but got caught. Even though he is broke and incompetent, his morals are definitely not broke. During the match, Duoyu plays his absolute heart out, but thanks to his legendary lack of skills, his team still loses miserably by 5-0. Despite the loss, Duoyu holds his head high and refuses to take the match-fixing money. Sadly, instead of rewarding his loyalty, the team's coach gets fed up with Duoyu's poor performance and fires him on the spot. His best friend and striker, Zhuang Kong, stands up for him, boldly declaring, "If you fire Duoyu, I quit too." The coach, delighted to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, happily fires them both. The turning point: an unbelievable inheritance. Left jobless and broke, Duoyu still clings to his dream of playing for the national team. While the 2 friends are comforting each other, saying after rain comes a rainbow, a bird flies over and takes a massive dump right on Duoyu's car windshield. It's a total disaster, but the 2 desperate friends stubbornly convince themselves that bird poop is actually a sign of massive good luck. Right at that moment, a scammer purposely throws himself onto their car, faking an injury to extort money. Furious, the 2 friends grab the scammer's head and wipe it all over the bird poop on the windshield. A random girl records the hilarious chaos and uploads it online, making them an overnight laughingstock. While locked up in a holding cell for the traffic altercation, an influential man arrives to bail them out. He is Mr. Jin, the same old man who had previously offered Duoyu the bribe. As it turns out, the bribe was actually a test of Duoyu's integrity. Duoyu had a long-lost granduncle who left home at a young age, built an empire from scratch, and became a mega-billionaire in the insurance industry. Sadly, the granduncle passed away just the previous week, and Duoyu is the sole legal heir to his colossal fortune. But the granduncle wasn't going to hand over the money easily. Mr. Jin, the trustee and current CEO of the insurance company, reveals the will. The granduncle's first order of business in the will is a posthumous slap to Duoyu's face for his past stunt in the women's football team. Then comes the real challenge. Duoyu must legally spend 1 billion yuan within a single month. If he succeeds in spending every single penny, he will inherit the entire estate worth a staggering 30 billion yuan. However, there are strict, mind-boggling rules to this challenge. 1. Every cent must be spent legally. 2. By the end of the month, he cannot own any assets, no houses, no cars left over. 3. He cannot give the money away as gifts or charity. It must be spent purely on services and expenses. 4. He cannot hire more than 100 employees, and he cannot pay them higher than standard market wages. 5. He cannot buy expensive items just to deliberately destroy them. 6. He cannot overpay above market price for any goods or services. 7. The ultimate rule. He must keep this challenge a total secret and cannot tell anyone about the 30 billion yuan inheritance. If he breaks a single rule, he gets nothing and goes back to being a nobody. The granduncle, thinking his grandnephew might be a coward, offers a fallback option. Duoyu can walk away right now with a lump sum of 100 million yuan and skip the challenge. But Duoyu accepts the bet. To monitor his spending and finances, the company appoints a strict accountant who turns out to be Ziaju, the very girl who recorded the viral bird poop video that got him arrested. Task failed successfully, trying to lose money. The group heads to the bank to withdraw the 1 billion yuan cash. Zhuang Kong is beside himself with excitement. They try to act calm and sophisticated so the bank staff won't look down on them. But the moment the vault opens and they see a literal mountain of cash, their knees buckle, and they fall flat on their faces. The bank staff literally have to catch them with chairs. Before leaving, they have to practice walking straight inside the vault, because they are hauling out massive bags of cash. The bank security mistakes them for thieves. Du Yu is so impressed by the security team's bravery and dedication that he hires the entire squad as his personal bodyguards, paying them presidential-level salaries. Now rolling in cash, Du Yu makes a flamboyant return to his old football club. He offers 500,000 yuan to rent the team for a month. The coach thinks Du Yu has lost his mind and offers him money to see a doctor. But when Du Yu dumps piles of cash right in front of the players, the coach instantly drops to his knees and starts gathering the money. Since Du Yu cannot own any assets, he rents a fleet of the most expensive luxury classic cars and high-end clothes. He lines up the entire team in these luxury cars. Du Yu pulls Ziaju onto his wedding-style lead car to take selfies. Looking at her, Du Yu jokes that with her uptight attitude, she'd be single forever. But Ziaju prides herself on being an intellectual who doesn't care about money. Next, Du Yu books an entire 7-star luxury hotel, the biggest in the city, for his team to live in for the month. He pays for a month of top-tier dining, adds a massive deposit for any potential damages, and even hands a hefty mental distress fee to the hotel manager just for dealing with them. For dinner, he treats everyone to the most expensive delicacies until they are practically bursting. To speed up the spending, Du Yu immediately sets up a shell investment company and appoints his incompetent friend, Zhuang Kong, as the CEO. Du Yu's logic is flawless. If someone as clueless as Zhuang Kong runs a company, it is guaranteed to go bankrupt, burning through all the cash. The next day, Du Yu uses his billionaire status to challenge the top-tier national football team to an exhibition match, wagering 10 million yuan just for fun. The national team happily accepts the easy money. Meanwhile, Ziaju is stressed out watching Du Yu blow through cash with zero returns. Desperate to lose more, Du Yu meets Ziaju's boyfriend, a motivational youth progress coach, who gives lectures preaching that humans shouldn't be slaves to money. To drain his funds, Du Yu blindly buys up every single ticket for all of the coach's upcoming seminars for the entire month, while Ziaju praises her boyfriend for being an idealistic man who despises wealth. The motivational speaker's eyes turn into dollar signs the moment he sees Du Yu's cash. Learning that the coach once studied gardening in France, Du Yu hires him as a hotel gardener for an absurdly high salary. The anti-money guru accepts without a second thought. Disgusted by her boyfriend's hypocrisy, Ziaju furiously dumps him on the spot. The nightmare of constant winning. The next day, Du Yu tries a new tactic. He buys up the stocks of failing companies that are on the verge of bankruptcy. During a meeting, an eccentric inventor bursts past security to pitch his project, a land-based swimming machine. The brilliant idea. People can practice swimming on dry land without going to a pool. The machine consists of a wooden barrel filled with water and a hole attached to a toilet bowl, which the inventor proudly demonstrates. He claims you can add salt if you want a beach experience, or even fill it with soda, milk, or beer. Du Yu, thrilled by this completely useless invention, immediately invests heavily in it. When his staff tries to stop him, Du Yu shuts them up by grandly claiming, "Dreams are more important than money." Inspired by this speech, a security guard steps up with his own lifelong dream. His hometown suffers from severe droughts, so his dream is to haul an iceberg from the Arctic all the way to his hometown by equipping it with a propulsion system and navigating it through rivers, which would cost around 2 million yuan. Du Yu happily hands him 5 million yuan for the project. Seeing that the boss accepts literally anything, the entire staff begins pitching their wildest, most ridiculous dreams to get funding. Meanwhile, the two corrupt foundation directors who want to use inheritance try to trap him using a honey trap, a beautiful woman, to make him break the rules. But with 30 billion yuan on the line, Du Yu skillfully dodges the temptation. Instead, he rents the most exclusive and expensive golf course in the city for his football team to train. It is at this golf course that the girl confesses she was hired by the two directors. Du Yu, and bothered, invites all three of them to a lavish dinner. The directors, bitter about his endless wealth, sneer. An expensive lunch isn't about what you eat, it's about who you eat with. They mention that a single lunch with the world-famous stock market tycoon Warren Buffett costs around 10 million yuan. Du Yu's eyes light up. Another brilliant way to waste money. Du Yu spends a whopping 40 million yuan to fly Warren Buffett to China. He rents a private jet and welcomes him with the most extravagant ceremony possible. During the lunch, Duoyu asks the billionaire for advice on how to fail and lose money. Buffy, who only knows how to succeed, dryly replies, "If you want to know about failure, go buy a burger for a beggar on the street and ask him," getting no useful advice. Duoyu hilariously invites him for a second lunch. While economists worldwide are dying for a minute of Buffy's time, Duoyu keeps asking nonsense questions until a frustrated Buffy storms out. Back at the hotel, Duoyu lives like royalty, paying his staff absurdly high wages to do simple tasks like brushing his teeth and washing his face. But one morning, his staff welcomes him with wild cheers in the conference room. It turns out that news of Duoyu having an exclusive lunch with Warren Buffett has gone viral. The business world assumes Duoyu has inside information from Buffett, and investors blindly rush to buy up all the failing stocks that Duoyu had previously purchased. His smart brokers sell at the peak, and in a single day, Duoyu accidentally makes a profit of tens of millions of yuan, just as he is losing his mind over making more money. A report arrives stating that the Arctic iceberg project failed because the river was too narrow. Duoyu rejoices, but the good news is short-lived. It turns out the iceberg carried a massive family of wild polar bears. Russia, desperate to protect the endangered bears, steps in and covers all the project expenses. Not only does Duoyu get his investment back, but Coca-Cola also pays him millions for the media rights to use the polar bears' images. To make matters worse, the eccentric land swimming machine suddenly becomes a massive commercial hit, selling out nationwide. Every failing business Duoyu touch turns to gold, and the media hails him as a business hero who rescues traditional industries. The ultimate sacrifice. Desperate to burn the cash, Duoyu decides to blow millions on a massive city-wide fireworks display to celebrate his success. Meanwhile, Ziaju is spending her birthday alone when her ex-boyfriend shows up not to wish her a happy birthday, but to beg her to ask Duoyu to fund his book. Thoroughly done with his selfishness, Ziaju cuts ties with him completely. Right then, Duoyu takes Ziaju out to watch the fireworks illuminating the entire city sky. Ziaju misinterprets this and thinks Duoyu set off the fireworks just for her birthday. When she tells him she still can't date him despite the grand gesture, Duoyu realizes he can use this misunderstanding to spend even more money. He buys up every LED billboard and advertising blimp across the country, plastering Ziaju's face everywhere to publicly woo her. Now a national celebrity, Ziaju has to sneak around in disguise. On the street, she bumps into the scammer who had previously faked the car accident. The scammer accidentally reveals that Duoyu never defrauded anyone and is genuinely a good guy. Eager to know the real Duoyu, Ziaju asks him to take her to a concert. Duoyu simply hires the famous pop star to perform a private concert right inside his hotel. Through these moments, Ziaju and Duoyu grow genuinely close, sharing beautiful memories together. However, Duoyu's too overachieving genius employees throw a wrench in his plans again. Without his knowledge, they bought a seemingly worthless piece of land. Bad luck strikes again, or good luck for anyone else. The government selects that exact land for a major school project, awarding Duoyu a massive land compensation of 10 million yuan. Having made billions by doing absolutely nothing, a stressed-out Duoyu dunks his head underwater in frustration. But while underwater, he remembers how his granduncle got rich through insurance. And a brilliant idea hits him. He partners with his granduncle's insurance company and pours all his money into a revolutionary product. Fat insurance. Anyone can insure their body fat for a tiny premium. If they lose 1 kilogram of fat, the insurance pays out 1,000 yuan. It's essentially getting paid 1,000 yuan for every kilo of weight lost. The policy lasts for just 15 days before the month ends. Legally verified by the beautiful lawyers, the public rushes to sign up. The entire city goes into an absolute frenzy to lose weight. Young and old alike start running everywhere. People stop driving, causing traffic police to direct crowds of joggers instead of cars. News anchors report the news while working out, and people pack the land swimming machines to burn fat. Elevators are completely abandoned as stairwells and gyms overflow with people. The money burns faster than a wildfire. While the staff is in tears watching the fortune vanish, Duoyu stands like a victorious general. laughing with immense satisfaction. He is even awarded a charity humanitarian award for improving public health, to which he hilariously gives a speech. "I didn't do this for charity. I just did business and suffered a massive loss." The climax, football and faith. Finally, the day of the match between DU's amateur team and the powerhouse national team arrives. The stadium is packed, but DU's supporters can be counted on one hand. It looks like a total humiliation. During pre-match interviews, the national team's star striker arrogantly promises a double-digit goal blowout victory. When it's time to enter, DU's team makes a grand entrance, landing in the middle of the pitch via helicopters. The coach is the first to step out with swagger, but before he can even wave, he gets motion sickness and violently vomits on the field. Once the game starts, the coach falls fast asleep on the bench, offering zero tactics. Right off the bat, Juan Kong plays dirty by marking the rival star striker and whispering insults about his movie star wife. Enraged, the striker punches Juan Kong and is instantly red-carded and sent off. Even with a one-man advantage, the skill gap is too massive. By halftime, DU's team is losing 9-0. They know they can't win, but they are determined to prevent a double-digit 10 or more score to save their dignity. In the second half, the coach wakes up and deploys a bizarre tactic. Instead of playing football, the entire team forms a human wall in front of the goal to physically block the ball with their bodies. Even DU gets surrounded by his teammates in a human shield. The national team, having promised a double-digit win to the whole country, desperately attacks, leaving DU's players battered, bruised, and bleeding. Impressed by their sheer grit, the entire stadium starts cheering for the underdogs. When they run out of players due to injuries, the fiery coach decides to sub himself into the game. But as he proudly runs onto the pitch, he trips over a water bottle, wipes out, and has to be carried out on a stretcher. Against all odds, DU's team holds the line and finished the match at 9-0. They lost the game, but they won the crowd's respect and are awarded a special trophy for their unbreakable spirit. The final test. Just as DU is celebrating, his phone rings. Ziaju has been kidnapped. He rushes to confront the two corrupt foundation directors, but they reveal they aren't the kidnappers. He thinks it might be her toxic ex-boyfriend, but the ex is tied up right next to her. The kidnapper demands a ransom of 10 million yuan by 6 p.m., or Ziaju dies. Here lies the ultimate dilemma. If DU uses the challenge money to pay the ransom, it counts as spending money on someone else, which breaks the rules and disqualifies him from inheriting the 30 billion yuan. DU has to choose the woman he loves, or 30 billion yuan. In reality, this entire kidnapping is the final test set up by Mr. Jin to see if DU possesses true humanity. Watching through a hidden camera, Ziaju learns the truth about the inheritance and waits with a racing heart to see what DU will choose. DU is driven to the brink of madness by the impossible choice. As the clock strikes 6 p.m. and the deadline passes, Mr. Jin and Ziaju assume he chose the money and give up hope. But right then, DU appears at the bottom of the stairs, crying hysterically and dragging heavy bags of cash. He didn't care about the 30 billion. He chose to save her. He screams out how much he loves Ziaju, while sobbing, "My money is gone. Someone come and carry these bags. They're too heavy." With this act of selflessness, DU passes the third and final test. Mr. Jin proudly reveals the granduncle's final will, confirming that because DU did not lose his humanity for wealth, he is fully worthy of the inheritance. In a final twist, DU asks why his granduncle never married or had kids. Mr. Jin smiles and reveals that the granduncle did have a lifelong partner, Mr. Jin himself. Starting out as a certified loser, DU successfully overcomes all the odds. He walks away not only with a mind-boggling fortune of 30 billion yuan but also with the true love of his life, Ziaju, by his side. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe.